And honestly, we questioned if we should even put this in the video. It's just super vulnerable. It's hard. We even were shocked when we were kind of brainstorming about it, about our own vulnerable feelings about it. We're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, right, we do think this.
Yeah, we decided to put it in.
There are 14,637 myths about newlywed life.
Exactly.
And they're all false.
Exactly.
I'm Kaylia.
I'm Jake.
And we are newlyweds, helping current and aspiring newlyweds feel equipped going into marriage.
Hey.
Oh, and check out our new intro.
Quick disclaimer before we get started, every marriage is as unique as the people who are in it. So some of these myths might ring true in your life, some might not, and that's totally fine. Also, a quick question. What is a myth that you've debunked recently? All right, let's get into myth 1, and it is this. We have sex all of the time. And I remember when we first got married, I first thought that we would have sex literally every single day. And it happened for the most part.
Month, yeah.
For a month, and then it kind of slowed down.
Definitely getting sick and tired of...
Whoa, and for me at least, maybe I had this subconscious thought that we'd have sex every single day because of my guy friends who were like,
I have sex all the time. Bed, bathroom, closet, kitchen, roof, ceiling.
That obviously is just not true. So after about a month, we resorted back to having sex only 3 to 4 times a year. Just kidding, 3 to 4 times a week.
I remember we were laying on this very bed right here.
So
Little
awkward.
awkward, I know, just like, but we were, you know, it was bedtime. We were laying on our backs. We were looking to the ceiling, and we were super tired. And we admitted to each other, like, you know, we don't have to have sex tonight.
And it was like relieving. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was relieving. It was like, like that expectation of having to have sex every single night was way too high for people who work all the time and just for normal people in general.
So exhausting. So we were like, let's just go to bed. And we did.
By the way, if you want to hear me sing about sex, you can check out our last video. It wasn't that good, but we do talk about sex in that video.
I got amazing advice the other day. We had a lady-only conversation. You know, when you talk about periods, sex, vaginas. All right.
I don't know. No,
but
I don't know.
a good mentor and friend of mine, she was sharing about her own marriage and honestly, like their sex life, because this is real conversations that we need to have more often. Gosh, we're like, what do we do? There's so many great areas. And she was like, you know, don't be ashamed of it. There's one season where you could have sex every day and that's normal and great. There could be another season where you have sex 1 to 2 times a week and that's great. So moral of the story is, don't be ashamed of how often or not you have sex every week. It will look different in every season.
Myth number 2. We never doubt getting married.
Never.
Here's the thing. We both doubt who we got married to, about getting married. This is a big deal. I mean, for us, the idea of getting married, first of all, is scary enough, but then getting married to one specific person who has flaws is kind of scary. For the rest of my life, I'm going to be married to this person.
Truth.
So for us, like, instead of like getting scared about it and not ever saying it, letting that not like build in our stomach over the months and months, we try to just like mention it when we can to each other, when we are really struggling with doubting during certain areas, because we've noticed that helps us just be more open and vulnerable with each other because it's a part of the human experience.
It's like growing the muscle. Well, I've never been with someone who consistently pushes me out of my comfort zones when it comes to making decisions, when it comes to forming an opinion. And I can question if my just being personality paired with his crazy drivenness personality was the best for us. And then I can also ask ask myself, what if, I mean, my life probably would have been easier if I married someone who is more laid back, like, you know?
And for me, her submissiveness and my pioneeringness, when I ask her, hey, do you want to do this? It's always in the back of my mind, does she really want to do that thing? Or is she saying she wants to do it because of me? And that can be hard because it would have been easier to marry someone who's a little bit more self-centered and says like exactly what they want so I don't have to think that way. It's kind of funny that I'm saying that because I'm basically saying I wish my wife wasn't as selfless. But that is just one of the couple of things that for me, I'm like, yeah, I can doubt that sometimes.
And it's been good. It's been like these things are good. And as much as we can say it's easier, I mean, the stuff is so good to talk about. I'm glad we're talking about it. And honestly, we questioned if we should even put this in the video. It's just super vulnerable. It's hard. We even were shocked when we were kind of brainstorming about it, about our own vulnerable feelings about it. We're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, right. We do think this. This is what we're thinking deep inside.
We wanted to put it in because if we're going to be really trying to equip people who are newlyweds or aspiring newlyweds, we wanted to be honest about our own journey because that's the best way to equip you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we decided to put it in. Myth number 3. Life is harder. For us, life has actually been way easier being married just in a practical sense. Like all the stuff that we had to do when we were single, laundry, groceries.
I don't even think we should edit that out. I think you should
Wow. Laundry, groceries, what else?
I don't know, cleaning.
Yeah.
Finding, I don't know. Yeah.
All of that stuff we had to do separately. It's like 6 mini tasks that we have to do every single week. But now being married, we literally have 3 big tasks and the other person does the other 3 big tasks.
It's awesome.
So for us, it's actually been easier.
Yeah, and so on the start of our week, we do our thing. You know, he does the finances, he does the vacuuming, and then I'll, clean the surfaces, clean the bathroom, we do the laundry together.
Exactly.
And I also do the grocery shopping. Don't want to miss that out because it's a lot to do in a week,
That is true. Myth number 4.
Here we go.
Next step, baby. For us, actually, let me get on my soapbox for just a real quick
Go ahead,
second.
dude.
I just need to get on my soapbox. Every single society will push you towards your next step in the American dream or whatever country that you live in.
Right.
So in America, it's you get in high school, then the next step is college. And then after college, you graduate. After graduate, you get a job. After you get a job, you get married. After you get married, you get a house. Oh, I'm about to start a rap. Yeah, here we go. Just kidding. I'm white.
Boo.
That's also racist.
Not even that. Yeah, you're just not the best.
Hey, whoa.
But I love you.
Anyways, and no matter who you are, either you can decide to do whatever your mom or your dad wants you to do is the next step, because that's the easiest thing to do, the most comfortable. Or you can actually do what you feel the most comfortable with. At the end of the day, you might be climbing a rung or a ladder that you just don't want to be climbing. And that's like one of the worst feelings in the world, to realize, wait, I've been doing what everyone else wants me to do, besides actually doing the thing that I want to do.
When I graduated from Point Loma Nazarene University, I put on my grad hat that said, the journey is the destination. And I absolutely loved what you were saying. Okay, we can't be rushing into our next step, or we are gonna end up on the wrong rung on the ladder.
Yeah.
And so I feel like our job as a married couple is to really slow down and to articulate what is our story, what is our narrative going to be.
Yeah.
And no one else decides that for us.
With that said, our next step is most likely...
Just to have a baby.
Yes, to have a baby.
Woo! There's definitely one group of people that are like, have a family, start a family right away. And then there's another group of people that are like, wait as long as possible. I don't know why I said it that way.
It's really weird.
It's like Gandalf, I don't even know.
Gandalf.
So that's the craziness right there. There's just 2 conflicting sides, but honestly, one thing that we really want to remember is it's us who dictates what's our next steps, what decision are we going to make next. No one decides that for us.
Mm-hmm. If you liked how honest we were about the newlywed life, go ahead and check out our last video, How is the Newlywed Life Really?
And we hope you feel less overwhelmed and more equipped as current and aspiring newlyweds.
Yeah, we out.
Bye.